KJLH, it's the Tammi Mac show. Banging that new stuff, but not really new, but new, from Bebe Winans. It's called Power of Love, with his homage to Luther Vandross and what he meant to pretty much everybody, right?
That's the first time I heard it on radio. That I didn't even know it was me when you started.
I didn't either. I thought it was Luther.
I thought it was...
Did you think it was Luther too?
I thought it was Luther.
Because I thought it was Luther.
I really did until, wait a minute, that's me.
How do you guys sound so much alike?
You know, the funny part is when we met, he said, you know, a lot of people said I sound like you, and I was like, that's so funny. A lot of people say I sound like you. So we were fans of each other, and we worked together in doing background. He did a lot of background for most of all me and CeCe's records, and so there was something about his tone that I loved, and my tone he loved. So, wow, that was almost scary for me. But
I thought you were lying to me, BB. I was like, he done set up here and lied to me, put his vocals on top of Luther, and come here to Stevie Wonder radio station talking about how to remake Luther. Give me an emotional story behind it.
Oh boy, that made me smile.
Do you, when you hear that, does it tap into your times with Luther Vandross?
Oh my gosh, I had to, seriously, you saw me sit back. I had to grab myself for a minute. And I knew I would become emotional. And I know I'll become very emotional when I sing it live because it causes me to remember the moments. And, you know, the funny moments. It's not, you know, we went to a movie. We went to a movie, and it wasn't...
You and Luther Vandross went to a movie,
out here, and it wasn't a real scare. It was a thriller kind of movie, right? And so this person was walking in through the house, and he bumped into something, and it was supposed to make you, you know, sit back, and Luther hollered, right? And it was only a plane, like a plane that the woman bumped into, and he hollered real loud, and then he looked at me, he said, promise me you won't tell me.
Some kind of friend you are, BB, sitting here telling me.
As soon as we leave here, I'm going to tell somebody.
Yes.
So it brings up all those things. When I was recording it, I had to take a little break here and there because he was such a great friend and a great man and singer. There's just no better, you know. Yeah. I think everybody missed that voice, you know. And you know, so but my honor to do that was just wonderful to sit back and listen to.
Well, you know, Luther wasn't the only great voice to do backgrounds for you and CeCe. Do you remember this by any chance? Do you remember this?
I'm hold up the light with a good friend Whitney Houston, our Bebe and CeCe Winans.
Oh yeah, before the fall of night, voices crying, young people dying, don't know where to run. Oh yeah, some are asking, time sacrificing, time for us to come and hold up the line.
Do you remember that day?
How can I not remember that day?
For everyone else, this is the Arsenio Hall show.
Yes.
And Whitney Houston was on the Arsenio Hall show with Bebe and CeCe, who were the guests, and Whitney was singing background
on Lost Without You. And she was singing background with us around the country. And Arista Records was losing their minds. Clive Davis was saying, you can't do that because, you know, I Want to Dance with Somebody was at #1, you know, and breaking records. And she said, bye, I'm going to sing background. And so she was on the bus with us, and they were like, they're going to kill you. She said, that's good. I'm good.
Wow.
She was having such a ball. That particular, we was laughing at each other because if you hear it usually live elsewhere where we did it or on the record, it is much slower than that. For some reason that night when he introduced us, the band started that so fast? And we all looked at each other saying, oh my God, this is going so fast. But it was nothing you could do because it was live.
And you had to go.
We had to go. So voices crying, young people dying, lost nowhere. We were cracking up as we were doing it, but we stayed professional. But when we finished that, we said, where's the drummer? Who started that beat? It was unbelievable. But she was a sister in so many ways. You talk about the book. In the book, I let people know that the first house I purchased, the bank changed their mind because they felt like I was a risk. Musicians are a risk when it comes to buying things,
They really felt like you were black, but I ain't gonna go there.
Probably that too.
Yeah.
So instead of the 10%, they wanted me to put down 50%, which I didn't have the 50%. Long story short, Whitney flew in and said, take me to that house that you was going to buy. I was like, why? And we went through it, and she said, oh, this looks like your bathroom. Oh, this looked like my brother's kitchen. And we went to the side. She said, here. And she gave me an envelope. Open it up. And it was the 50% that was needed to put down on the house. She said, I told you this was your house. And I said,
wow.
Girl, I'm going to pay you back, right?
Uh-huh.
I paid her back. She found out I paid her back from her
management
and everything. And she called me and said, you paid me back? I said, I told you I was going to pay you back. What are you talking about? She said, everybody say that. Don't.
Everybody does say that.
Everybody does say that, but don't. But that was and so Whitney and Luther, me, Cece, and Dionne Warwick, we were honoring her mom in Chicago. And all four of us were singing. Yeah. And we were singing That's What Friends Are For, right? But before we got down to do it, Luther said, Bebe, stop by, when you're on your way down, stop by my room. We'll walk down together. I said, all right. So I went down a little bit earlier, and I knocked on the door, and because after we sung, we were going to go eat. I knocked on the door, and he opened the door. He thought it was room service, and he had a piece of chicken in his mouth. And I said, what? He said, oh, my God, I thought it was room service. I said, what are you doing? He said, shut up, boy. I was going to eat now, so when we went to dinner, I was just going to have a salad. And say, I'm not hungry. It's too late for me to eat.
But then he had a chicken in his sandwich waiting on room service.
Oh, he had a whole meal. They forgot something to bring, and he had bring me some sauce.
We are with Bebe Winans and Andre Russell up next with his sports roll.
Attention, Japanese car owners. Stop getting robbed by the dealer for maintenance.